Well, welcome everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are, and welcome to what should be the first in hopefully a series of home-based, you bet. Because in the grand scheme of things, we always talk about network marketing being a home-based business for sure, and we all know that we're usually out and about having conversations with people wherever we go and getting together with people on a regular basis. But in our new normal, things are different, aren't they? And so during this type of a webinar, which we're going to be doing hopefully on an ongoing basis, we're going to be sharing information, ideas, be a little bit of a catalyst to make sure that, nobody wants to be immobilized or paralyzed in the moment because of this interesting, unique time we live in with the coronavirus. So our goal here is to be able to motivate, inspire, inform, and do all the above. And certainly we're going to be doing that along the way with David Schmidt. David, are you there?
Hey, Jim. Good to see you.
You as well. So David, I was thinking about the last 15 years and you've just about been there, done that, and seen everything. But these are unusual times, aren't they? And I know you have a particular viewpoint on the power of our home-based business, huh?
Yeah, I started LifeWave as a home-based business. And so I worked out of my home for 2 years. And I'd say that turned out pretty well. So there might be a few things, a few tips I'd like to share with everyone. For some people, the idea and the concept of working from home is psychologically very difficult, maybe even for some people traumatizing. So I thought I would share some of the secrets that I've used over the years to make working from home successful and I would even say enjoyable. Trying to avoid some of the pitfalls like gaining weight and not being very productive. So I just jumped into it for a minute.
Well, let me get out of your way. You do your thing and I'll come back on in a little bit. All right.
All right. That sounds good. It'll just be brief. I promise.
Oh, no problem.
Okay. So the first thing I'd say is establishing a proper mindset. A number of years ago, I learned a really interesting technique for becoming successful with exercise. Now, when you mention exercise, and it can really be almost anything, many people dread it. And I suppose it's why here in the United States, majority, 65, 70% of the population is either overweight or obese. And people just simply choose not to exercise because it's too difficult. Well, just a number of years ago, I wanted to put myself through some really intense exercise and hit a number of fitness goals. And I made a routine out before I started the exercise. I would say a prayer and I would say with a smile on my face, "Thank you, Lord, for this time. I am so looking forward to exercising. Please don't let this time pass too quickly." And then I would start my workout. And funny enough, even though it was intense, grueling workouts, I would find they would go very, very quickly. The same is true with working from home, is you want to enter into this with a positive mindset of being thankful that you have the opportunity to work from home and enjoy all of the benefits from it. So that would be very, very important thing, is establishing a healthy, positive mindset. Another thing that you can do is create a schedule for yourself and plan in breaks. And this is important because sitting behind a desk all day and maybe not having people at work to associate with or speak to direct face-to-face can get, for many, a little bit boring and monotonous. So it would be important to schedule out a number of breaks through the day. Maybe it's every 30 minutes, maybe it's every hour, whatever works for you. But simply get out from wherever you're working, walk around, grab a drink, take a walk outside, whatever's necessary. But schedule these things throughout the day so you don't get lost in your computer and get lost in that mill and be bored. Another thing that goes with that, by the way, is that clinical studies have shown that if you sit for more than 20 minutes at a time, it can impair the circulation in your legs. And this can actually lead to nerve damage and cardiovascular disease. So it's actually important to our health to get up and walk every 20 to 30 minutes. So also try to make a habit of that. Another really important thing that goes along with this is creating your own work environment and your space. So you want to have your bedroom as the area where you relax and sleep and whatever else. You want to have a living room where you're going to relax and enjoy some entertainment or time with the family. And so you want to create, if possible, a separate room or a separate area where you're going to work. So psychologically then, when you're going to that area, it's like you're going to the office. And when you leave, you're in your home and you're in a relaxing environment. But when you go to that one area where you work, okay, now it's time to get down to business and work. So creating that separate space in your home is incredibly valuable. So Jim, there's a lot of other tips and things that I've learned over the years, but I just wanted to share a few of those basic things on mindset, creating a space and creating a schedule, because they're very easy to implement. People can start using these techniques today, and they're incredibly effective.
And it's interesting when you think about it, how basic that is. I mean, we get so wound up, right? In this, we're inundated by information, fears, worries, potentials. What should I be doing? That you forget some of the things you just laid out there. I mean, you just said, I'm thinking, I better get back here and I better do some walking around. You know what I mean? Because I've already been sitting a while, right? And I don't remember that. I'm not thinking of that. So basically, get out and smell the roses, and things are going to change. And it won't always be this way. There's so much we could talk about, David, and that's great input. Say, I know you're going to be getting ready for a product webinar. You're doing a bunch through the day, through today. You're going to be talking about copper, aren't you?
I'm going to talk about copper and its antiviral effects. And I think people are going to be blown away at how simple this is, but yet how effective. Now, of course, I talked about copper on a prior webinar about COVID-19. We've talked about the importance of copper supplementation and maximizing X39 for activating stem cells, but I'm going to take a little bit of a different spin on it and show not only antiviral effects, but why copper is so important to overall health, and really looking forward to sharing the information with everyone today.
I know you've got about 5 or 6 to do today, so I know you want to get ready for that. Thanks for sharing your insights on this one, David, and we'll talk soon, okay?
Absolutely. Thanks, Jim. Appreciate it.
Terrific. Okay, so that is just, let's face it, a tip of the iceberg of the types of things that you can think about, some actions you can take that kind of, it's about self-care and remembering that there are some things, basic things you need to do. And now I love the opportunity now to bring on Rex Cokerhans in just a moment. I know here's a fellow that's our new marketing director, and he started in the last couple of weeks, and he's already running alongside me and David as we build out and develop some additional powerful marketing support and tools and those kinds of things. Rex comes out of the network marketing industry where he's got a solid 12 years plus of experience, basically doing everything on an international level, domestic, dealing with leadership and developing sales systems. He's run international managers in a bunch of countries, opened a bunch of countries. He absolutely has plenty of experience dealing with companies in hypergrowth. ASEA, Tahisha Noni, he was there during some of their incredible high growth times. And so when he heard about LifeWave and he had the opportunity to join us, he was basically thrilled and enthralled with what it really means and what LifeWave represents. So Rex, come on aboard, my friend, and I want you to say hi to everybody as we get into some of the things people can be doing from their home-based business, huh?
Well, thank you, Jim, and hi, everybody. It's great to be with you all today. I appreciate the warm welcome, Jim. Yes, I love network marketing. I built my career in network marketing, and I am so excited to be at LifeWave. We've got a fantastic leadership team. We've got products that can't be duplicated, and these last 2 weeks have been a little bit like drinking from a fire hose. Lots to learn about LifeWave and meeting so many of you. It's been a fantastic couple of weeks, and I'm so excited to work with you to build this company together. Yeah, this is an exciting and interesting time as we are looking at the challenges of building a virtual business. This is an interesting opportunity because a lot of us have maybe been a little bit hesitant to really invest the time and energy we need to learn how to build our business online. It can be scary. There's new technologies involved. There's new systems and processes involved. Network marketing, for the last 30 years has been built on a certain set of skills, and that skill set by necessity has evolved over the last while as the technology's evolved. So this is, this time of quarantine and staying home it provides an awesome opportunity. It kind of forces us into this role of learning how to better build our businesses online, to build a virtual business. And so, it's in so many of these cases, it's about your attitude, right? When you face these challenges, the kind of attitude you bring to it. And I'm choosing to look at these challenges that we face as a global community as a chance to really build a new skill set, to build my virtual business. And I hope you can see this as an opportunity as well. So I have a couple ideas that I've been stewing on that I wanted to.
You know what, Rex? I'll jump off. You take the floor, do your thing, and so that everyone can look at your lovely face as you impart what I know is a ton of wisdom, of which we'll probably only get a small portion done in the next few minutes. So let me jump off.
Okay. That sounds
great. Thing. All right, you got it.
So I think this time that we're in provides a really unique opportunity to connect with and to rally your team, to inspire your team. Often we think, well, how do I build my business? I need to do a lot of prospecting. I need to do a lot of recruiting, and that is important. And we can talk about some of those recruiting opportunities as well. But I think, your warmest market as a network marketing associate is going to be your team. It's going to be your downline, your customers. And that's a great place to start when you're facing some challenges and obstacles to the way you typically do business, is to circle the wagons and look at your own team. This is a great chance to reacquaint yourself with your team, to review your downline. Maybe in our busy day-to-day schedules, we don't spend a lot of time reviewing who's actually on our team. What kind of personalities do you have on your team, in your downline? What kind of customers do you have? What are their needs? It's a fantastic opportunity to take an assessment of the strength of your team, the unique people on your team, and reacquaint yourself with them. This is a great chance to reach out to them personally and find out how they're doing. Maybe that's something we don't have a lot of time to do in normal times, but placing a call, sending a text, or even the sort of forgotten art of a handwritten letter. I remember recently I purchased a vehicle, and it was an expensive vehicle, a stressful purchase. And about a week after I purchased the vehicle, I got a letter in the mail from the salesman who had sold me the car. It was a handwritten letter, and it just said, "Thank you for being a customer. I really appreciate you supporting me, supporting my business. And if there's anything else I can do to help you in the future, let me know." There's something about the fact that it was a handwritten letter that really touched my heart. And interesting story, that vehicle was involved in an accident, and it was actually totaled. And so we were in need immediately of purchasing another vehicle. And guess what? Guess who came to mind very first as I thought, where do we go to purchase another vehicle? We went back to that sale. We walked into the car dealership, and I said, I want to work with that exact salesman who took the time to send me a handwritten letter. And we purchased the exact same car from him a second time, just a couple of months later. Kind of a unique story. He was thrilled to see us walk in and want to purchase the same car 2 months later. But it spoke to the power of communication and that personal touch. Think about who you might take some time to send a personal letter to. All it costs is the cost of a stamp to send a postcard or a note saying thank you. Check in to see who hasn't ordered frequently or recently. If someone hasn't purchased an order in the last couple of months who maybe had a history of purchasing, check in with them. Find out what their personal story is. Maybe they need some coaching as to the product. Maybe they ought to be using a different product, and maybe you can help them explore some other product categories that they could look at. Or maybe they just need an encouraging word from their upline to get reactivated and get re-engaged in the business. So taking the time to check in to those people who maybe haven't ordered recently is well worth your time. Reaching out and making a connection can also, I think it can make an impact in this time of uncertainty. I think people on our teams might be stressed. I think we all have a degree of anxiety right now about the way things are in the world. And this can be the perfect moment to reach out to people on your team to check in. Make sure they know you care about them, you're aware of their needs, and you want to help them in any way you can, either in helping them build the business and in any other part of their life that you could be support and helpful. Inspiring your team, I think, in this time of uncertainty is really important.
You know, Rex, you bring up an interesting point that, you know, it's awfully easy, again, because we're, you know, many of us are isolated. It's awfully easy to manufacture negative thoughts in your mind. And if there ever was a time to be sure that you're feeding yourself some positive mind food, to make sure that you remember and you touch, you know, like your touchstone, that, you know, your altitude is determined by your attitude, right? I mean, there's so many ways in which we can talk about the importance of your attitude, how you see things, how you project yourself in terms of a positive mental attitude versus letting yourself cycle down into perhaps a negative space. So I would say, as you're talking about the types of things and connectivity and touching base with folks in the field, especially customers, I mean, think about this, Rex, you know, our free product program. This is a perfect time if any of our members have not spent a lot of time working the free product program, you can reach out to all of your customers and let them know, hey, you have an opportunity to get your product for free next month. All you have to do is refer me to 2 customers, and you can work through that with them and help them understand what that looks like. And, you know, and speaking of, you know, getting to know our different programs, gosh, the treasure trove of tools that we have, do you really know what they are? Have you looked at one of the videos produced in the last year? Have you looked at one recently? Each one's loaded with information, you know? And so this is a great opportunity, I'm sure you agree, Rex, to spend some time in the back office, educate yourself, get more familiar, read some of the PDFs that are back there that maybe you haven't actually gone down and dialed in and really kind of processed what that information is that you're sending out to a customer or perhaps sending out to your downline. And so, you know, it's so easy. We can go on and on. And by the way, I'm looking over here in chat. We got folks coming in from Turkey. We got Chris Markowski coming in from Poland. Hey, Chris. We got Manila, Philippines is checking in. Anthony Frank, good to have you here. You know, so we're having an impact, and this is the goal. We want you to know that you're not alone. We completely get it. These are different times. And there's some basic things you can be doing. Look, and you can make sure you reach out to your upline, to your leadership, and touch base and seek information. What do they suggest you do? Because they're not standing still. You know, their leadership is leadership for a certain reason. They know what they're doing. So be sure you get with them and share information, ask good questions, take advantage of this time because, yeah, you are not out driving all over heck and gone, meeting people, taking meetings and doing, it's not happening near to the degree. So, you know, what are we saying here, Rex? People have to, you know, it's turning lemon into lemonade, isn't it? That's what this is really all about, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely, lemon into lemonade. There, you know, times of challenge can, as I mentioned, can be a fantastic opportunity for us to make big leaps in our own personal development and the way we look at our business. I love the suggestion you had, Jim, of spending some time looking at the resources available in the back office. You know, a lot of times as we're building our business, we don't have a lot of time to spend reviewing resources, but we have some fantastic tools in that resource library to familiarize yourself with, and now is a great time to do that. So great point.
And also get to know Zoom. I mean, you talked about it. I mean, this is a technology we're using right now. Maybe you've never set up a Zoom meeting before.
That's right.
Time, you're only doing 2 or 3 hours a week, perhaps. Take 5 or 10 minutes, go online, check out Zoom and a few of the other competitors out there and understand what this is all about and how you can use this device right here to absolutely get in touch with everybody. And Rex, I think you had a couple more thoughts. I didn't mean to step on you there.
No, that's fine. No, Zoom is a fantastic tool. You can see we're using it here. I'd highly recommend every network marketer needs to know how to use Zoom or some kind of teleconferencing call so you can contact people see them eye to eye, have conversations. It's a fantastic tool that really takes your connections to your team to the next level. Finally, I just had one more suggestion. This can be a fun time to create some income producing challenges within your team. Our teams need direction, and they look to you for direction. And there's some fun things that you can do. How about some kind of challenge where you rally your team and we say, hey, tomorrow we're going to have a fun challenge where within the hours of 2 to 3 o'clock, we're going to see who can create the most connections within that hour. Or maybe it's a day-long challenge where you encourage some kind of activity. And then when that challenge is over, everybody reports back to your team and shares success stories. Fun way of encouraging income building type activities, getting your team to know one another, support one another, and rally each other by sharing their success stories. This is, again, it's a challenging time, but it's a fantastic opportunity. There really are lots of income producing activities that you can do just through hitting your warmest market, through reaching out to your own people on your team, being a leader, inspiring them, giving them income producing challenges that keep them busy and focused, taking opportunities to make personal connections through text, emails, handwritten letters, all kinds of things that we can be doing right now to help build our LifeWave businesses. Jim, that's all I got. I'll pass it back to you. It looks like I'm out of time.
No, you're good. You're good. And you bring up a good point. It's meditation, remembering your why. Why are you here in the first place? Why'd you join LifeWave? Don't forget, right? That there's so many things you can do to make sure that your mind is bolstered with the right approach, the right attitude, as you focus in on what's fantastic about what LifeWave represents. So, we obviously are cheerleaders, no question about it, but we're also here to support, to help, to train, to connect, to make sure that the community continues to connect. And with Rex on board, trust me, we have a massive agenda. We're building out our team. We're going to have more and more capability to follow through on so many of the small details that need to be squared away and handled to help you be able to do your job. Our job is to help you to be able to do your job better, easier, faster, more efficiently, and all the above. So we're going to be wrapping up now. One thing we want to try to do is turn this into a series. So be on the lookout for a communication to see. We're going to try to set this up on a regular basis. We might actually have some guest speakers to come on, leaders, folks that are in the trenches doing it, having a special, unique approach to how they're dealing with the new normal. So that's our goal. And any suggestions you have, fire them off, why don't you send them to marketing@lifewave.com. If you have any suggestions, content, information you'd like us to share in these types of forums, be sure to let us know. marketing@lifewave.com. Rex, any final words of wisdom, my friend?
I think I would just add to close here that, the COVID-19 has brought a lot of challenges for sure, but has also brought, I think, a heightened awareness to the public about the importance of health and wellness, about the importance of taking care of yourself, about being vigilant and careful about your health. And we have a fantastic line of proprietary, completely unique health and wellness products. It's a great time to be a LifeWave distributor, for sure.
That is, I'll second the emotion big time. So folks, thanks very much for joining us. We wish you well, continued success. And by the way, in about 5 minutes, David's, I think he's going to be speaking to the Danes, the folks in Denmark. And from there, he'll be doing a bunch of different webinars. I think English is up today as well. So be sure to check your local listings, as they say. Rex, thanks very much. Welcome to the team, and let's go for it, man. See you at the top.
Thank you.
Bye-bye, everybody.